Make a motion to open the meeting.
Second?
Moving second to open, all in favor? That's a vote. All right, Greg, you wanna take the warrants?
Yeah, sure. Make a motion we approve the following warrants. Warrant number 11, the amount of $19,317.74. Warrant number 12, the amount of $52,787.90. Warrant number 13, the amount of $20,235.71. Warrant number 14, the amount of $221,584.29. Warrant number 15, the amount of $49,138.27. Warrant number 16, the amount of $20,014.82. Warrant number 17, the amount of $34,116.74. Warrant number 18, the amount of $18,175.14. And finally, warrant number 19, the amount of $18,468.03.
Second?
Moving second to approve warrants 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. All in favor? That is a vote. All right. Approval of our minutes from our council meeting July 15th and July 29th.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as written from the regular council meetings on July 15th and July 29th.
Second?
It's been moved and second to approve our minutes from July 15th and July 29th, 2019. All in favor? That's a vote. Up next is our department head reports. Fuel usage is first in there. Gallons, okay, good. All right. So I think we finally got that tweaked to where I think that will.
I think I'm gonna probably in the next couple months start a diesel one too.
Yeah, I'd like this, diesel's the only other one. All right, first up is the fire department. On that valve, changed out, so if you got anything for John, we'll run it through Chris. Seeing none. Parks and Recreation, Mike, busy summer?
Yes, went very well, very pleased.
Good, excellent, excellent.
The other thing, I did wanna mention the, all the work being done, it's going well,
Yep,
looks nice.
Yep.
And we have the new camera, this is one of the new cameras right here.
oh, wow,
Yeah, could consider be smaller, and we're working on a few bugs so we can go live streaming, but we're getting there.
yep. How, I know they started the process on the painting of the courts.
I'm fingers crossed,
Yep.
next week,
Good, good,
fingers crossed. What,
good.
right now at the mercy of some of the weather.
Oh, absolutely.
I have a good question. When you guys went and did the new field in the soccer field right across from high school, did that go to bid?
The Public Works did it,
Public Works did that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So no, the answer in short is no.
Okay.
All right, anything for Mike Boyce? All right. Public Work,
The new field that went all the way around, they put the new poles in and the new backstop for the baseball
that
field.
went to bid, yeah.
That, did you go out of it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And the guy, Superior was about 10,000 less than the second one and almost half of what the third one was.
Yeah.
Allen Farm fence is pretty high.
It is very high.
All right, Jamie's still on vacation, I assume?
Yeah, Amy's not looking.
All right, so anything on transfer and that, we'll get with the,
They're going pretty good.
yeah, you've been busy. All right, and the gallons are in there for Public Library, keeping busy this summer?
Yeah, I'm gonna speak to Bob because I noticed that he's starting to get a few returnables thrown there in the evenings and garbage, and so I'll have them swing by and shoo people along if they're hanging out there.
Yep. All right, so that takes care of our department head reports. Under old business, Chris is gonna give us a sewer project update and a broadband update.
Yeah, I did, also, in there's the sewer plant, for the plant operation, and also what's going on with, sewer. They finished installing water main on Summit, they've continued to install sewer main on Summit from Third to Washington. Alright, and we're looking at, this week, they're starting installing water and sewer on water and sewer services on Summit.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so.
weather's really helped them out this summer.
The weather's helped them out, and I mean, they're about a month ahead of where they were last year at least, which we'd hope they'd be at least that
Right.
far. They're gonna continue to install sewer main on Summit.
And was the question asked regarding the lawns along?
The lawns, Mandy has put a separate set aside for that because she wants to make sure that it's taken care of. It's been addressed 3 times by them, and T-Buck keeps assuring them before the end of the project, everything will be kosher. Though, we have nothing but clover coming up, and it's
Many.
beautiful green clover, but it's clover. Alright, Down East Broadband, we had our meeting last week. They have released the first streets to start going out and having installations done. Callis is gonna be, well, I take that back, they have been tested, right? Maine, well, a fair part of Maine, Access Road, sections of the Holt Road, Broadway and Washington. They're gonna be working on, Summit, Hillside, and then connecting, and the rest of Broadway, and making sure they can get that loop tightened up. Then they're gonna start heading, down Route 1 to get down to the intersection. The last section that's gonna be done in town is, Bear Cove. However, if you look at that, the balance sheet, that money that is coming back, to the towns that was not used for the poll fees that we told them we wanted a portion of that, it appears we're gonna get about, 60 some odd thousand of that money back. And it's, a little less than 65,000 that we're gonna be getting back. If you look at the second page of that profit and loss, you can look down and see that, what is it, second page, first page, sorry. If you look at the first page, to this point, we have, it appears that we're at $994,538. So, we still have just over $500,000 left. Some of that'll be eaten up. However, I anticipate that we'll probably have 150,000 or more, plus the 60 some odd thousand. And that's our money to go out to Lamb Farm. And that will, this project was supposed to hit 97% of the houses in town. This will make it so that every house in Baileyville will be covered. So that was.
It was good news to get to see that, obviously the company has done decent work to be able to hold that type of money
Yeah,
back.
and the other good thing is that when you guys initially signed on to this and went to town meeting, you guys got $1.5 million.
Right, because in the back, we already had said that we wanted to get it possible to Lamb Farm.
Yeah.
And it appears based on what percentage they have done in town and what's left to go to Bear Cove, we will
Right.
be in there.
The other thing is Callis borrowed 1.6, and it looks like they'll probably have to go out.
Yeah, they're gonna probably have to go back to the well.
They didn't get, they got exactly what they thought it was, whereas Baileyville went, said, yeah, that may grow, so took a bit more. The good news is, once we start, that's $25 a month per customer that we're gonna start seeing. So, if you could get, 600 customers in this town,
pay that debt down pretty quickly.
Exactly. You're looking at $15,000 a month coming in. The next item is the order to authorize issuance and sale of general obligation bond for the cafeteria. You approved that at town meeting 2 years ago, or not last, well, 2 town meetings
Two
ago.
town meetings.
However, this is the actual going out and getting the money for it. And while we did the paperwork last spring and got that all approved, the state held us up because we did not have signed contracts for that at the time. So this is the order that will authorize the issuance and sale of a general obligation bond for $1.6 million to construct and equip the cafeteria addition for the junior senior high school. And he has given us the motion right there for someone to make.
Yep.
3 copies.
I move that the order entitled, Order to Authorize Issuance and Sale of General Obligation Bonds in the principal amount of $1,600,000 to construct, equip a cafeteria addition to Woodland Junior Senior High School be adopted in full and presented to this meeting, and that an attested copy of said order be filled with the minutes of the meeting.
Second?
It's moved and second to approve the order to authorize issuance of sale of general obligation bond in the principal amount of $1.6 million to construct the equipment and cafeteria addition to the Woodland Senior High School. All in favor? That's a vote. I'll be sending down, we need 3 signatures, 3 separate copies. There's one.
Thank goodness there's 3 of you here tonight, because if we had 2, I was gonna
Screen?
cow. Yeah, well, the screen would have been good.
2. And here's 3. All right. So then it looks like we got a motion needed if we're gonna allow the Oktoberfest to have a road toll on September 13th, 2019. We had,
Yeah,
by
it-
consensus, we had agreed to it, this just formalizes it.
This is changing the date.
What does road toll go towards?
There, for this particular one, it goes directly to the Oktoberfest committee for them to put on the functions.
Okay.
And on the 30th of August, you'll see the Rebecca's, I think the lodge is out of Princeton,
Yep.
come down, and they're gonna have one on the 30th of August. And then on the 13th of September, you're gonna have Jamie Bohannon running it for the Oktoberfest.
Okay.
We have like 3 or 4 a year usually, but it's always a group like that.
I was gonna ask, usually the stipulation in Cal, so I'm allowed like 5 a year, you know?
Yeah.
That we, but they're all, the ones that happen here, they're all for
Good.
good causes.
It's a good profitable card, good.
Yeah. I move that the Baileyville Oktoberfest Committee be authorized to conduct a voluntary civic road toll on September 13th, 2019.
Second?
It's moved and seconded to allow the Baileyville Oktoberfest to have a voluntary civic road toll on September 13th, 2019. All in favor? It's a vote. Moving on to the town manager's report. Chris?
Okay, we got our, the county salt bids in, and it's interesting that the county salt bids are usually running less than the state salt bids. You would think that out in Washington County, that would be an impossible thing to do. One of the things that kills you on the state salt bid is everything's predicated on how far from Searsport you are. So the further you're from Searsport, the more you pay, for trucking costs. But for the Washington County bid, doesn't care where you are in Washington County, this is the bid, $61.10 per ton is what New England Salt gave for their price, and they are the winning bid. Morton Salt of Chicago was $69 a ton. Cargill didn't bid, and neither did Eastern Salt, which was kind of surprising. So New England Salt is who we're buying our salt from this year.
How many tons of salt do we usually buy?
We usually use about 75 to 125, depending.
Okay.
Which, that's pretty light on the salt.
It is.
Chives puts up the same amount of sand, but uses 150 tons of salt. With this last legislature, what's come about is now for future capital projects, one of the considerations, if you have any state funding at all, you have to pay prevailing wages. You can't just, have a guy bid a job, and then if he's paying his guys $11, $12 an hour, go with that. If the prevailing wage for that truck driver or that laborer or whatever is higher, you have to stipulate that you will pay the higher wage. So, there's another incentive for not taking state money. You know, if you,
The federal does the same thing with the Bacon Davis.
right,
So,
so you're stuck with those on federal projects, and then now it's out there with state projects.
now
So-
that only goes to projects 50,000 or more and
Right.
monies that we've taken from the state and
Right.
or federal government. And there is a chart that goes with, there's a code for each type of operator, whether it's technician, what have you, that's the prevailing wage, and it's healthy.
Yeah, and the first project we're gonna see that on is Main Street.
That's right. Only for the state's portion of it.
Well, my understanding is that that it may be for the entire portion of the project.
You may
Okay.
wanna get clarification on
Yeah.
that, because the federal, the Bacon Davis only is considered what the federal government pays towards it.
I know, for like, say, well, sewer plants are mostly federal money anyway, so clean water.
But have you looked at the wages on these? by
They're
chance?
they're pretty healthy.
They're pretty healthy,
They're pretty healthy.
but they also include benefits.
Right, and they're not quite as bad as Dave's taking.
Right.
But just, we wanna give you folks a heads up on that, because that is coming.
Yep.
And Noah had something he wanted to talk to the council about.
Yep, absolutely.
How we doing, Noah? This Noah's othered, I think everyone knows Noah.
Good, how are you? Well, I wrote a proposal for the town council, and I'll read it, as well as, I made Andy well aware of this, and I've talked to him previously within the last couple of days on some of the stipulations and some of the different ways of, going about this. So, I wrote up a letter directing it towards, town manager, but it's to all of you. So, dear Mr. Laughlin, so I'm addressing you this letter on regarding of lot 34-5 in the Baileyville Industrial Park, asking for your consideration and request to selling this piece of land. So now I'm the owner and operator of Southern Services, an established business that has been thriving for over 5 years. Fortunately, my business has far outgrown the space that I have on my properties that I own. The lot at my plan for lot 34-5 in the industrial park would be run this business from this location. This would include storage of equipment, firewood storage, and allow me to expand my salvage vehicle arm of my business once the proper permits are obtained. My plan for this land, after taking ownership, would be immediate clearing and site prep. I will put a garage on the property to secure my equipment, and I can fully assure you that I will maintain the land, building, and equipment housed in and on this land in a professional manner, with that aesthetically pleasing to the neighboring businesses and neighboring eye. I am requesting the purchase price of $1, which is close regard to the sale of other lots in the industrial park that have been previously sold to other contractors that have yet to do anything with their land. Please feel free to contact me at my phone number, 214-1800, if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer and meet with any of you.
Lot 34-5, what is the size of
Is
that?
that the one right next to the Border Patrol?
Border Patrol, it's not, it's the next lot up. I think it's just over 3 acres. The lot that's located directly next to the Border Patrol station, to my understanding, the town of Bering still owns that.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, but what's the developable property on lot 34-5? Because I don't have an issue with this. I mean, it's a practice that we've taken in the past. Some of the stipulations were just as you know, we don't want a junkyard and fence around it.
Of course.
You know, I mean, and you've addressed all those, so I don't see an issue. Part of the reasoning, that there's been a lot of slow moving down there was based on the town of Baileyville and town of Barron, happened to sell off, property so that we didn't fall under state LRC guidelines.
Of course,
in
with Moose Horn Wildlife Refuge, bordering both,
Right.
almost all properties, yeah.
But we now, that's all encompassed within the town of Baileyville, so it falls under our code enforcement. It
Okay.
also doesn't fall under LRC any longer, so that was, I mean, just getting someone to get a road into their lot
Yeah,
was an act of Congress, so.
My next question for you was, this piece of land, lot 34-5, the back section of it, approximately 800 feet long, is all bordering the Moose and Wildlife Refuge.
There should be, a map that states out what is developable in
Yeah,
that
and
lot.
this is one of the concerns of that lot is that, there's not a huge amount, you know, there's a lot that you have to watch out for that you can't develop,
As far as,
because wetlands.
yeah.
So, let's see, lot five.
Have you been, I know you've, obviously, have you looked at these maps, and that's the reason why
I
I
have
was
looked
asking
at
you
the
this.
maps. I have walked all of that lot as well. I have walked along the sides of the Moose Run Wildlife Refuge,
Mhm.
and nowhere have I walked in that I have not been able to walk in work boots.
Okay.
I think that's a good way of wording that, because a lot of that land down there, you really can't.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you only, realistically, the town of Baileyville only has 2 other lots down there that would be worth anything, and both of those you would not be able to walk in work boots.
Yeah,
This lot 34-5 is the only lot down in that area that is still a road built to, that is worth anything to anyone that you can do anything with.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, just go over here and take a look, you can see you've got this area right there, and then that swale, that stream that runs right through
Of
there.
course.
And you've got like, it's showing over 8 acres, in fact, I think it's, 9.34 maybe.
3 acres of it must be developed.
Well, here's a map that shows what you can and can't develop. No, that's not the one. That shows a bit better with the wetlands. You got that stream that runs through there, and
Yeah.
then you got that swale right there.
Yeah.
And that swale kind of comes up towards the front of the property. So this portion, you know, it's almost, this is showing a swamp over that whole section right there.
Of course.
So you'd really, yeah, you're
Only
down-
have that one section.
that section there and that section there, so,
Yeah.
you know, you might wanna put part of the business there and the other part there.
I completely understand. Is there any way to get copies of both of those?
Yeah, in fact,
Okay.
I'll try to get hold of a copy of, a larger copy, so
Okay,
that you
absolutely.
can actually sit down, and you
Yeah.
can get a big version of
Yeah.
that.
Now, the back side of that lot 34-5, closest away from Border Patrol Station, is still not road accessible.
The one way back off the.
Yeah, that piece of land,
This was the original design, but this is, let's see, so we're looking at, that's lot 5, and you'd be looking at lot 7.
No,
Um,
no. Lot 3,
Lot
one,
3, lot 5, yeah.
Lot 5.
Now, see, I think what's
that
ended up
shows
happening.
much more. The road ends approximately at the border of this
Yeah.
line right here.
Yeah, so
And this,
you can see that right there and that right through there. And they're showing, a little piece up in here. But yeah, this is mostly a development.
the only section that, yeah.
There's a border of like 20 feet on either side, on all boundaries that you can't develop.
Of course.
But yeah, I think.
Yeah, and you can get with CES and
Yeah.
get a more.
I can get a better copy for you.
Absolutely, I would love that.
How many people you employ?
Between 1 and 2.
Okay.
All depending on what time of year it is, and all depending on what I have going on.
Alright. Well, hopefully that'll go with 6 or 7.
Fortunately, I would love to have more employed, if there was more people willing to be employed around here. I think we all really have that problem, but I employ who I can when I can.
I don't have an issue at all with this, it's been, like I said, our practice. The steps that need to be taken, obviously Chris is gonna get you some more information, so you can make a sound decision.
Absolutely.
And then obviously go through the guidelines with Andy, figure out where you're gonna be, and then once we get to the point to where and then we'll do a purchase and sale agreement that turns it from the town to nowhere, if that's the course the council wants to take. I think I can see Craig, and you would be for it, so the consensus that we have here tonight would be a yes to that, so.
Okay. Okay.
But again, there's different steps, and I
Of
just soon
course.
see you, get with these maps, because
I would love that.
there's a lot of things that you think, you know, you can walk in your work boots,
Yeah.
but we didn't make up the rules.
Yeah.
The Army engineer, the
Army
Corps of
Corps.
Army engineers made up all these rules.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 beautiful lots in the park that we still can't use.
Yeah.
the front lots that we
Yeah.
had to give up to get the
that
back
are
lots.
horrible, really. Well, they're
Well,
good lots, but it's
they're good.
horrible that you can't access them.
Exactly, so that's work in motion, but that's not gonna happen today or tomorrow either, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, give me, sometime tomorrow to dig out what I have, plus I'll get CES to send us, another copy and get that.
And then you guys.
Because, yeah, I don't see any.
I don't see, as long as you're in compliance with what you've agreed to, and it stays in compliance, and obviously taxes are paid, and
Absolutely.
to whatever you have there.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for, is to get the lots cleared, get businesses in there.
I completely agree.
Eventually, there is work in motion. I did get an email last week that it hasn't been forgotten about, but there will be a road eventually in
Mhm.
that park to Route 9,
Yeah.
so.
And with that being said, you know, I understand that, and of course, I'm not trying to say anything bad on anyone, but, you know, I am well aware that T-Buck does have thousands of yards of fill, thousands of yards, yeah. So, it can be a good start for the town, you know,
They definitely have some film,
yeah.
so. But yeah, get with Chris, come in and see him tomorrow or Wednesday, whatever, I know you're
Absolutely.
busy. And between then, probably you can get with Andy
Yep.
and see where they are. He can get the paperwork you're looking for. Then you can really make a sound decision, you know, on
Okay.
this lot does meet what I'm really looking for, or, you know. Like I
Yeah.
said, when you get into what, you gotta be certain, so far away from the mosquito pond, and, you know,
Yeah.
there's things that we don't have control over, that the state's made, vernal pools, and
Yeah.
just so many things that just, you think you got all this land, then all of a sudden it's shrunk down to this, you know?
Absolutely,
So,
I completely understand.
Yep, just come in, like you said, sometime tomorrow afternoon. He
Okay.
should have pretty much all he's got done, but if you're busy, stop in Wednesday
Okay, absolutely.
and we'll, see what we can do.
I gave Andy a copy of this, did he give
Yep.
that to you, Chris?
Hmm?
I gave Andy a copy of
No,
this.
I have not seen that.
Okay, would you like this copy?
Sure.
Okay.
That's great.
We won't have, what would be the earliest, because I know
Thank
there
you.
will be
Thank you as well.
for answers, what would be the early, I mean,
Well, I would think based on,
we won't have another meeting.
you know, the first meeting in September,
Which is the eighth.
8, 7:30, that'd be the 8th. Second, no, the
Ninth.
9th.
Yeah, you're right.
The 9th. So by then, I would think you would have what your homework done, Andy would have his homework done as far as where we are, and obviously your portion of it. So between now and the 9th, I think you guys can get on the same page and not re-present this, we've been presented with it, but
I-
it'll give you more of a
I agree.
indication of, yeah, this is what, something I wanna do, so.
Okay,
All right, well, thank you for
Awesome.
coming in.
no problem, thank you guys as
All right,
well.
thank you.
Alright, we'll see you the 8th.
Thanks, Noah, we'll see ya.
See ya.
One thing I forgot to mention on the dark fiber agreement between us and, the internet providers. This one is, gonna be obviously for Pioneer, but if any other internet providers come through. It's a hefty document, so if you wanna lose some sleep, you know. Oops, sorry. So you've already got one. So, yeah, if you want something that will put you to sleep, that will do it.
Yes, there's some good reading there.
Riveting.
However, the attorney, has reviewed
Yeah,
it,
you just-
and pretty much everything's good. There's only one section in there that we're still, have to clarify with Pioneer, and everything else looks
And
good.
I think they
according to-
probably got that clarified. It's just, I think it was left blank purposely.
Right. So, we're looking good on that part.
Actually.
That is all I have.
All right, public comments, Mike, do you have anything? No? All right. Council closing comments, Craig?
Just, there's a lot of work being done around town, and I know people have complained all summer, but there's some awful nice streets in Baileyville nowadays.
That's exactly right.
Really, really nice streets. Things are looking up as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the same comments.
Yep, things are looking up, so that's all I got.
Vacation?
That's all.
No, I was just gonna state, you know, had a couple of citizen complaint on some of the construction vehicles moving too fast. And Jamie and Bob went and visited and ceased their, you know, moving a little bit slower than they were this summer, but it's in a safer fashion, so, Jamie and Bob went out and really talked with the supervisor and they got it taken care of, so. Other than that, Labor Day's here, so
School starts.
school starts, welcome to fall. So, I guess now we're ready for an adjournment.
Make a motion that we adjourn at 6:03.
Second.
Moving second to adjourn, all in favor? That's a vote, thank you.